Hey, hi, all. Everybody doing good? All right. So, in this video, we are going to talk about HTML. Okay. So, in the class, I have already started learning, teaching about the HTML. And in the HTML, we had seen header tag, paragraph tag, and styling tag, and also some of tables. Okay, so this video is an extension of the same, and meantime I'll make use of the same topics that it is being used, and this might can help to the people who are being absentee for those 2 or 3 particular classes. All right, so without any further delay, let's just continue. So I'll be sharing my screen, and I hope my audio and video both are fine. Okay, and here it goes. So my screen is started. All right, so without any further ado, all right, so I can directly into the VS Studio Code. So VS Studio Code is one of the editor that where we do our web development. All right, so it is not only just a editor, it is also considered to be the lightweight uh, programming application which helps for various languages that can be practiced. All right, so out of which we are actually doing the HTML. All right, so the very first thing is that I can show you quickly. I can show you how to create a folder, how to create a file, and how to make use of the same. All right, so that we are currently into the editor of the VS Studio Code. All right, so okay, so what do I do is simply what we need to do is just get into here and click on a terminal, click on a new terminal. So this will open the bottom side of application that will takes you to the PowerShell, or it will take you to the command prompt of internal operating system. All right, so within which we are currently in the directory of C drive and users, whereas the username as well. So from here you can change to the command prompt if you are very much known about the command prompt. Otherwise, it's okay. PowerShell is perfectly fine. So currently I'm into the folder called users, but I would like to get into the desktop. All right. So before that, just say this way, that is cd desktop. So if desktop directory is available, it directly takes it. Otherwise, we'll get an error. Let us see. Okay, there you are. So we are currently into desktop now. So I wanted to create a new folder. So new folder can be done with the command line that is called mkdir. Mkdir stands for make directory. So directory is a word in computer operating system that called for creating folder. Right. So generally we call that as like folder, and in the computer it is called as directory. So we are going to create a folder. That means we are creating a directory. So make a directory, and I would like to say it here, that is HTML online recorded. Okay, online recorded is one of the folder that I'm going to create, and folder name always should start with a capital. All right, so it's like hit and enter. So my file has been created. My folder has been created. So I would like to get into that particular folder. So how to get into that? So just take the same thing. So I just select it here and Control C, that means copy, and I'll say CD and paste it here. That is Control V. Hit and enter. I'm currently into that particular folder now. So now what I want is that this folder has to be created. It is already created. All right. So this folder has to be opened in a VS Code now. So how to open it in the VS Code? A simple thing, that is, you can say that is code space and one dot. This is called period, dot period. All right. So hit and enter. So this will take you an interface where you can see the VS Studio Code is starting up, and you can see it is already been open. This is one of the other interface. It is just open, and previous interface I'll simply close it. All right, so now let me expand this, and this is where we are. All right, so this is where we are. See, HTML online record is one of the folder that I just simply created, and we are currently into that particular VS Studio Code. So what do we do, sir? We will create a new folder. All right, so come here. This portion is called editor box. All right, so before that, let me just give it to you some more information about it. Like here is, okay, so like here is, We can just simply make the thing. So this portion, okay, so this entire portion is called editor, guys. All right. So sorry, it is called Explorer. It is called Explorer. All right. So you can see it here. It is already given here as like Explorer. All right. So this Explorer, which consists the structure of entire project that you are going to create. Okay. So now going ahead. Okay. So going ahead. So what do I do is into this Explorer, I'll create a new folder. So no new file, sorry. So just come back here on the symbol, click on this file, and I'll say it here as that. Okay. So that is, I'll say that is first.html. So you know that the extension .html, which helps that the file is written in terms of HTML codec, right? So that's the thing. All right. So going forward, what do I do is, without any further ado, let me just provide you the first extension, which will help you to have a HTML boilerplate code. It's called boilerplate code. All right. So what is it, sir? What do we do? So we will directly get into navigate to the extension, click on an extension and click in here. And here, just type it here as that prettier. All right. So prettier is nothing but which helps you to have the boilerplate code with regards to the HTML. So simply just expand like this. So you'll understand that what prettier that you need. So the prettier that I need for is HTML. So you can simply scroll down so that it will be helpful for you to, finding that particular. Otherwise, you can do the straightforward. So what do I do straightforward? We just say that is prettier HTML here. So if there is if there is any XML, I mean, if there is any extension that will come in. So you can see it here, prettier code formatter. So I just click on this, or you can say the, just click on this, the first one. All right, the first one, and click on the install on this particular. So I'll just trust a publisher and install, and this will take a fraction of seconds and getting the things done. Okay, so I'll just close this. And you can see the prettier is an optioned code formatter. It enforces the consist of style by passing your code and reprinting it within its own rules and takes the maximum length into account, wrapping code into whenever it is necessary. All right, and this also helps for HTML, JavaScript, V, Angular, TypeScript, CSS, and everything. So what is this prettier is going to do is it's going to help your code like the different colorway out so that it will be making a differentiate that whatever the coding that you're doing in. All right, so the body tag or the header tag or the other tags, the paragraph tag or header tag that you're taking in. So that will in different way out. So prettier is one of the extension that we use to make the to look your code should be prettier. All right. So come back to this in here. So as I shown in the classroom, that is like just have an exclamatory here and just hit an enter. So this is where the boilerplate code comes into picture. And here, the title of the document, it's always name of the website. So I'll say it here, that is first page. All right, the first page. So this is going to be the title. All right, so once after this, people who are new to here, we need one more extension, that is, get into the extension box again, get into extension here, here, and then here, the moment when we have written the prettier HTML, right? At the same time, we just need to type it as like live server. All right, and hit on enter. So once we hit on a live server, the first extension available in the Explorer is the same. So we just need to get that one. And currently it is installed in my system. So that's why it is saying uninstall. Anyways, I'll show it once again. All right, so I'll uninstall it right away. And it will be like this. It will be like this to install into your position if it is happening for a first time. You are already installed, then it is all fine. If it is people who are not installed previously, that can be done on this way. I'll click it once again to install it, and it is getting installed right away. All right, I'll come back to my Explorer again and go to my first page in here. And what do I do is, instead of writing anything inside here as of now, I'll just right click in any empty area, right click any empty area, right click any empty area, and there is something, the option. All right, there is the option, right? So there is something, the option, that is empty area, and we have an option that is called open with a live server. If I click on an open with a live server, that automatically opens the browser where my HTML can be seen. You can see the browser is already open on my system, and why am I came in here is to show you, okay, is to show you this thing, the first page, this is coming in right in here, right? So this is the title box, that what we have written. So we had written in here, right? So this is the title box. This is the title box, right? This is the first page title box. This is what we have written. All right. So this is actually depends that what you write or what you type in there or something. All right. So without any further ado, let's start our first HTML file and do the practices, which is certainly be. And I hope you guys are currently following me that what am I doing in. All right. So let me just, maximize my browser and come back to my Visual Studio Code. And here within this body, we actually do our logic. We actually type in here logic, and this is where we actually do the web design. This is actually where we do the web design. All right. So to be precise in here, guys. All right. To be precise here in that, if I'm doing HTML, that means I am designing. That means I am structuring. I am structuring the HTML. All right. All right. At the same time, if I'm doing CSS, that means I am putting a makeup. All right. Putting makeup to my page, to my web page. All right. And same time, if I'm doing a JavaScript, and JavaScript is said to be the actions. It's like light camera action. All right. So here is that. Okay. So the light, what we said is HTML and CSS is the camera. What we can see through it. Its camera is like colorful camera or a black and white camera or something like that, right? So the JavaScript is the action, like light camera action, something like that. All right. So anyways, we are doing HTML. That means we are actually structuring the web page. So very first thing is that would like to talk to you about the comments. All right. Would like to talk to the comments. The comments are really, really important. Really important, and comments which helps you to describe that what code you are typing in, and at the same time you wanted to structurize your code, you can use the comment. You can structurize, you can control your code, you can use the comments. All right. So whenever the comments are being used, you can actually minimal your piece of code, running the piece of code. All right. So very first thing, the comment in the HTML that can be done like this. That can be done like this. All right. So like this. And one more thing, before I come back to the comment, let me just tell you this. HTML always starts with angular brackets. That is, one is lesser than symbol, another one is greater than symbol. All right. So these are all called as like angular. These are all called as what? These are all called angular tags, or you can say angular brackets, right? In the angular brackets, we can do this way. All right. So within the angular brackets, whatever you take in here, that becomes the tag. And at the same time, we need to close the tag with using /. All right. So this is the tag. And coming back to comments here, comment can be done like this. Okay. So I'll start with the angular, and you can use an exclamatory and one dash, another dash. And this is supposed to be closed with dash and a dash and the angular. So this is where the comment has been done. All right. So this can be a little problem because I'm using that is tag closed inside, and we are just making some simply things out. But anyways, this is how we will use the comment. So how do you use the comment, sir? We take an angular bracket, exclamatory, and it is like HTML comment. And this HTML comment is also helpful to explain that what we are going to do and explain what we are actually written as a logic in our code. That's how it is. So very first thing is that we are dealing with that is HTML tags, right? HTML tags. All right. So this HTML tags can be seen in 6 different ways. It can be seen in different ways. We are talking about the HTML header tags. All right. HTML header tags. So in the header tags, sir, we have that is H1, we have H2, we have H3, we have H4, we have H5, and we have H6. So these are the 6 different tags that you can see, and H1 is here. So I will say this is first heading, or this is says like header tag 1. All right. And I'll say like H2 is followed by, and I'll say that is this is header 2. I'll say that is header tag 2. All right. And going forward, I'll say that is H3. All right. Going forward, I'll say this is H3. All right. Wait a second. So this formatter. Okay, there you are. So H3 is here. So I'll say it is like, this header tag 3. All right. So kindly be a little focused here, because the IntelliSense of VS Code will always like comes up just like that on the screen. You can see that is okay. So it is coming like just like that. So just keep on, simply typing on yourself. All right. So do not panic, because IntelliSense is going to be helpy thing going forward. All right. So don't worry about it. So H6, and we'll say that is last one. This header tag 6. All right, so there are the 6 different header tags that we certainly see in terms of HTML. So how can we see all this on the screen, sir? In that case, we can just simply right click and get into open with the live server, which we did just a moment before, right? So click on that one particular and you can see this is how it is. This is how it is. So the tag number 1 is HTML. Okay, so here what is that happening is this is certainly, all right. So what is it, sir? Okay, so this is certainly H1 tag. Okay, so not a capital, I'm so sorry. So it is like H1 tag, and this is the H2 tag, this is the H3 tag, and it is H4, and it is H5, and it is H6. So what exactly making the things over here is the total difference between is the very first thing is the size. Very first thing is the size, and very next thing is the style. Very next thing is the style. Okay, and one more thing you can see. Okay, one more thing is all the text that is there in the styles are the bold. Okay, that's the style that we have. All right, so that's everywhere we have a bold, but the size is something different. Something is different. So H1 is bigger than H2, and H2 is bigger than H3. H3 is bigger than H4. H4 is bigger than H5, and H5 is bigger than H6. So that means H6 is the lowest header that we can see in HTML. Okay, so hope you are understanding and hope you are able to make the clear difference that what we are trying to see it here at this moment of a time. All right, so without any further ado, so let's take one more topic here. All right, so it is like a paragraph. Okay, so to be said in a simple word that the tags, the header tags and the paragraph both are said to be brothers. All right, in a way it is said to be brother is that, okay, so we generally see that, okay, so if we write anything, we will write the title first. Title is said to be the headers. Titles are said to be headers. All right, and once the header is taken, so we have writing something, the paragraph to it. See, for example, if you are writing anything in your book, you will write the title first, right? You will write the title first, and then you will give the description, right? So now, please consider here that is the title is the header, and the description is the paragraph. So it is like looking to be a good way out. All right. So this is the same passion of development or design that we do in HTML as well. All right, so going back to this, let's go back and say this. Okay, coming back to the VS Studio Code. So what do I do, sir? What do we do, sir, here? So instead of using all the 5 or all the 6, you can take 1 or just keep it as that says. And I have a question here is that, okay, so how many times? Okay, so how many times? All right, so first thing first, okay, how many times that I can use these headers or headings or header tags, right? How many times? Okay, how many times? It is multiple times. Okay, so you can utilize that a number of time wherever it is necessary and however is necessary, because you are the programmer and you are better understand that what you are supposed to do, right? So what will I do is I'll take the one more tag in here, that is, let's say it is H1 tag, and I'll take in here something the header. So I'll say it here as like, okay, say it is like say that is artificial intelligence. All right, so currently that is booming as of now. All right, so I'll just take artificial intelligence. All right, so for this artificial intelligence, I'll have a paragraph. Okay, so artificial intelligence can be anything, right? Artificial, all right, so something, okay, hold a second. So all right, so artificial, so above is also artificial intelligence. All right, is a model which automates the learning process of a machine. A simple word. I've written something in the paragraph here. Okay, so and you can see this. Okay, it is just extending over my editor. Okay, so in order to see that what exactly is there right after this word, and it is going out of my screen, and what to be do at this moment of a time. So not to worry, you can take it to the new line as well. Okay, you can take it to the new line as well, so it will work. Okay, so if I simply come back to my browser, So you don't need to right click and you don't need to open with the live server every time. Okay, it is already been running on the server, and that is by default will open in Microsoft Edge, and you just need to come back here. And you can see artificial intelligence is a heading, and this is something the paragraph. All right. And for your concern, right, for your concern, so like, we just can, gather some information about the artificial intelligence. So what do we say? It's like, okay, so I'll just try to give you some details of this. Okay, so I'm just getting into one of the Google search. Sorry, it is not a Google search, it's a Microsoft Bing search. All right, so I'll just take the sentence. You can see I'll just copy this, and I'll just simply copy this. Don't I have a copy? That's anyways. I'll just select this. All right. So copy this. Entirely is a paragraph, right? Entirely is a paragraph, right? I simply come back to my Visual Studio Code, and I'll take one paragraph here, and I'll take in here like one more paragraph, and that is like this. And we can just simply copy paste. And as I just a moment second mentioned, right? You can get into the new line as well, like this, right? Like this. Okay. So like this. All right, you can get into the new line as well like this. It is really not necessary that you should go out of your, you should go your editor. All right, it's okay. So we just can make the paragraph like this. Okay, so no matter what, how long it is, we can just try to make it. So to be precise here, the motive behind talking about this is header and the paragraph both are situated to be one together. Okay, so they should be together. So if I come back to my browser, here is my first page, and you can see this is what the paragraph, and this is what the paragraph is. All right, so this is how it will work, and this is how it will make it. So that's why I mentioned that. Okay, so header and the paragraph both are like to be brothers. Okay, so now again my question remains same again. So how many, like, again, how many times? Okay, so how many times that I can take paragraphs now? Okay, that paragraphs now. All right, so a number of time again. So this is where your HTML tag of headers as well as paragraph which gets completed. All right, so going forward, the next topic that we could see in HTML is, okay, so I think we have, okay, so let's just make use of this notepad. Okay, so we have completed with, that is HTML header tag, right? HTML header tag, and we had completed the HTML with paragraph tag. All right, paragraph tag, and let's go back to the next topic, that is HTML links. All right, so HTML links is something which we generally say is like, okay, so it is also known as, okay, it is also known as hyperlinks. Right, so hyperlinks, we generally say it as like, web link. All right, so web link is something which can be accessed over internet, right? So web link is nothing but which can be accessed over internet. All right, so, and these hyperlinks are denoted in HTML using anchor tag. All right, using, that's called anchor tag, and that anchor tag is set to be angular of A. So this is an angular tag of, anchor tag of HTML. And, for example, if I just meant to be, what is it needed? All right, so these links are, all right, so these links are necessarily needed, all right, necessarily needed to navigate within website, within web page or website, you can say. Okay, so you wanted to go from one page to another page. Okay, so you might have seen that where the website, for example, Amazon. So you can actually access in Amazon like different way out. Electronics is something the different page, and home appliances is something the different page, and the clothing is something different page, right? Fabrication is something the different page. So like that. So you wanted to navigate within the page, we can certainly need the hyperlinks. All right. All right, and this can may consist of some sections. All right, so this can may consist of some documents. All right, it can be something the external links of web page. All right, so it will be something like that. All right, so now how we can actually do this? Okay, so how we can actually make use of this one? So if I go back to the syntax of HTML anchor tag, it's going to be like ahref. We'll use ahref equals to and double quotes. All right, and we will just take this as like entire ahref tag. Href stands for hyperreference, all right, href, and also within the double quotes, we just need to provide the link. We just need to provide the link here, any link, any link. So for example, if I say it is like, okay, say it is like https colon, okay, double forward slash, say this www dot, and you'll say that is google.co.in. Not home, it is n. All right. So this is the link, and we need to give this, we need to give the link name. We need to give the link name here, and we need to close our a tag, because we had started a tag here, right? So we have started it, we need to close it. All right, and that's what the HTML says. You just need to start one tag and just need to end the same tag as it, right? So that's the thing. So here the link name, I'll say it here as like Google. All right, so this is one of the examples that what do I do is I'll simply copy this and I'll come back to my Visual Studio Code to check this out. All right, so I'll just come back here and just simply type in like this and save it, Control S, or you can simply just say the right click and you can say it here. There is something called save button. Okay, save button is not in here. The reason why is I had made the by default save button that is getting into the settings of your VS Studio Code, and here we have autofocus change. The first thing is like autosave. This is autosave. If you have selected as like on focus change, that means it automatically saves into your code, so you don't need to externally save it. So that's the thing. And also the font size is pretty much big in here, so let me just try to shorten this, because we are actually can see all these things in simple way. All right, so I'm just making it to 20. I hope this is visible properly now. All right, so you can see this. Okay, so the HTML tag, paragraph tag, again paragraph tag, and now we are into HTML. We are into HTML links. So that is like, okay, so I'll take this like this as HTML links. All right, so that's what we are dealing with. So this is where the link is supposed to be, and I'll just write it once more for you for your reference. A href, and that is equal to, I'll say that is https colon double forward slash www dot, and you can provide any live website that you are wanted to open. Okay, so let me just give it to you, any application that you wanted to. So I'll say it here as let's say like gmail.com. All right, and this is going to be, I'll say that is Gmail here. All right, so one more link has been clear in here. So all automatically it will save into my system. So I just need to come back to my browser here and scroll down, and here where the links are. Here where the links are, and you can see the mouse cursor is like a pointer now. It is arrow mark. The moment when I take it on the link, it becomes the hand indicator. It's a hand indicator, right? So I'll click on a Google, and this will be directing to the Google page. All right, this will be directing to the Google page. And now you can just need to come back here. This is your own page, own set of page, and this is actually navigating to your Google page, right? So if you click on a Gmail here, so this should open my Gmail. Okay, so all right, so I'm just clicking on that, and this should open my Gmail. Okay, there you are. It is opening my Gmail. Okay, that's how it is. All right, that's how it is. I'll click on a Google, and it is going to the Google. And if I'm clicking on a Gmail, it is actually opening my Gmail. That's how it is. All right, so hyperlinks are something which can be provided for the navigation, and we can create a two different files in here, and we can provide the links to that and just navigate between those two pages. I'll show it in going forward in the next videos coming further. All right, so I hope that you understand this one, that is ahref. Okay, ahref is the anchor tag which will helps to provide the working web link. All right, so you can get into YouTube also. All right, so these are the very straightforward links, or very straightforward applications where every day that we use it. So that's why I am just utilizing all these things. And going forward, okay, at not we do not have a website for our institute. All right, so going forward we might can have. All right, so you can say like www dot, it is like techmasters trainings. All right, techmasters trainings .com or .org, something like that. So this will take you to the TechM, or like say that is in Techmasters, right? Techmasters. If it is a valid website, obviously it will navigate, otherwise it doesn't. So now come back to the browser here, and you can see YouTube and Techmasters here. So if you click on Techmasters, currently the Techmasters is not available with this domain. So that's why it is can't reach this page. So what I'm trying to say is that ahref is a link which navigates to the link if the link is available. So unfortunately, the Techmaster is not available at this moment of time. It might be in the future cases. All right, so it can be done. So now if I click on a YouTube, it will take me to the YouTube, and you can see the address that I have typed in, it is incorrect. So that's why I'm just having like, can't reach to this best. Come back to the VS Studio Code, and I'll say that is YouTube. All right, so space, control safe. Now come back and just reload. Okay, sorry, come back to the page and just click on a YouTube. All right, I think it is not been saved. Let me reload this and click on YouTube now. There you are. YouTube got open. So that's how it is. So come back to your page. So from this page, you wanted to navigate to something else. You just can create the ahref tag. That's the tag. All right. So going forward, the next topic that we can see in the HTML is, all right, so we can see the HTML tables. Okay, so into this, sir, into this. Before I go back to the HTML table, okay, let me just talk some more about the ahref tag. So here is the ahref is going to work for the four different activities. One is I wanted to open new tab whenever we click on the link. Hope you understood. Okay, so when I click on the web link, so it should go to the new link. So at the time, we need to have a reference tab. All right, so I'll show you to that. And the second one is, okay, so open the document. All right, so open the document within the same web page. Okay, so in the same web page. And also, uh, opens, all right, so open the linked document. All right, so linked document in the same page. All right, and also we just have it's like, okay, so open the linked document in the full body of frame. All right, so these are all the four different types of actions that we can see with the ahref tag. All right, so we just need to have a reference to this. Just see that once, you'll get to understand. So if you use in here, so if you use underscore blank, so that way it will open the application for the new tab, and there's something called underscore self, and there is something called parent. All right, and you have something called underscore top. Okay, and going forward, this can be utilized like this. All right, so focus over here. So we will say, in order to utilize this thing, we will use a tag called target. We'll use the tag called target. So when I utilize the target, it's going to be like this: ahref equals to double quotes and your link in here, that is https:// www dot, for example, it is google.co.in, and it's double quote like this, and this is going to be the Google link, is it? So, and I'll be closing this with a tag. So now in here, within this hyperlink, all right, right after the hyperlink, we will use the target here. So target, and that can be assigned in the double quotes, all right, and this can be underscore blank. If you type in blank, the moment when you click on this link, the Google link, all right, so if you click, all right, if you click on the above link, it will navigate to you to new web page. That's it. Wanna see? Come back here. I'll show it to you. All right, so now I want it to be, so inside this, okay, so just after the double quotes here, I'll say it as like, okay, target equals to underscore, and you can see IntelliSense has already given you all these informations. Okay, IntelliSense is already, very much intelligent. That will give you a recommendation that what you are supposed to be looking for this. I'll click on a blank. All right, so come back to the browser and just wait for a moment. So if I click on this Google, kindly watch carefully. So click on a Google, so it get into the new page now. So this is my page and this is the new page. But earlier what happened, it was loaded here itself. in the same page itself. You can say this. I'll just make you the change here. So I'll not use a target. I'll use the direct link in here and come back to the browser now. So if I click on a Google link, see it is loaded in the same page. Earlier it was a first page, now it is Google. If I come back to here, it was the first page and click on a Google now, it is redirected to the Google, the same page. But the moment when you use the target here, the moment when you use the target here, and clicking on the browser, you can see I'll come back here and I click on a Google now, and it has went to the new line. I mean, that means a new tab. It is like a new line approach, and this is your page and this is your new page. So like that. So if you use the blank, it will take you the next page. And now I'll say the target here again. I'll say the target here again. Okay. So this time I'll use the parent. All right. So let's go by one after the next as the IntelliSense is recommending. So I'll take the target here again. Okay. And we will use the self. All right. And here we'll use the target again. All right. And we will use the top. So this is nothing but 4 different actions that we certainly use in the line, guys. And you can see the clear differences. So if I click on a, okay, so if I click on a, click on a Google, all right. So like this, close it, close it, close it. All right. Anyways, okay, so click on a Google, it had went to a new line. All right, that means a new page. If I click on a Google, Gmail, it is rotating here itself. All right, and now if I click on a YouTube, it is rotating here itself. All right, so if I go to the TechMaster, it is also rotating here. So that means underscore parent, underscore self, underscore top. This will loads the page within the same page, right? This will loads the page within the same page. This is the same page. But when it comes to the blank, it will take you to the new window. That's what we can see. Okay, so these are the different operations or the functions that we just see into a href tag. Okay, so not only this, not only just navigating to somewhere else, ahref tag is also provides you, some more help. All right, some more help. What is that? Some more help is like, okay, so linking to different HTML elements. All right, HTML elements. The first thing first is linking to an image. First thing first, okay, very, very important one. It is also helps you to link to an email address. Okay, and it is also to the phone number as well. Okay, and it is also to the button. All right, so we'll create a button always. Okay, so going forward in any website we do, the button creation is always set to be the priority task in any browser. Okay, so using the links we can create the buttons as well. I'll show it to you going forward in the further videos as well. All right, so link to download file. All right, and the sixth one that we do is link the title. All right, so these are the 6 different ways that we can actually use our HTML elements. All right, so how actually link the image. So this can be done using that is ahref equals double quotation and your link. All right, so generally we will pass in here that is the link of website, right? The link of website like this, right? But here when it is come to linking the image, we just need to provide the image address. Image address which is anything, that is your local system, or it might be from external link. Okay, I'll show you going forward, but the image address should be ending with its extension as well. Okay, so it matters whether it is .jpg, whether it is .jpeg, or whether it is png, or whether it is something either other extension that we see in terms of image that we have stored in the local machine or in any of the external links. All right. So going forward, we just not use the href. Okay, so we will also need to use this tag. We'll also need to use this tag. That is, it is not just completed here. We need to provide the image source where it is present actually. All right, where it is present actually. That's what I have mentioned. That's what I have mentioned. Again, it is image address. All right, same thing. It is either you can do that way or you can do this way. That is image address dot extension. Really, really important. All right. Really, really important. Image extension. All right. And going forward, we just not use this much here. So we will give some alternate names. All right. So that is ALT. ALT is used for naming convention. Naming convention. I'll just provide here anything, the naming convention, that is name of the image. Okay, so name of the image that you like to provide. Okay, so name of the image that you like to provide. So if I take it in a one shot, if I take it to the one shot, so this is how this can be utilized. This is how this can be utilized. Okay, so ahref tag, provide the image address with an extension, also provide the image source with the image address, extension, and provide this is alternative. This alternative which helps like, okay, providing the name to the image. All right, so going forward we'll do the practices, but as of now I want you to see the syntax that how we use ahref tags. All right, so ahref is equals to double quotes. So if you want to link an email address, it can be anything like, you know, ahref is equal to, we will use a universal naming convention for the email address. All right, so that is nothing but mail to. All right, mail to, and the colon, and here your email address. It is maybe anything. Okay, so it is like any email address. So I just certainly provide my personal one. All right. Okay, so /. Okay, so this is the hyperlink, and after this the hyperlink name that you wanted to, you know, provide in here, I'll say that is send email, and close your a anchor tag. It's a simple one, right? So now going forward, if it is a phone number, again it is ahref, again it is going to be a link. Ahref is equals to, again, double quotes, and in the double quotes we'll say that is that is telephone, right? Telephone colon, and you can say that is +91, and you know, without without any, you know, space. All right, we just need to, you know, provide the number just like that. Okay, sometimes it will work with the spaces also. It depends on the version that the browser that you are utilizing in. Okay, so that's okay. So you can say that is call now or reach now or connect now, something like that. So I'll say that is a tag for this. And also we have a button also, so we can create a button, and this button is like, you know, ahref is equals to, all right, so you can provide any link. I'll say that is www.google.co.in again. Okay, so that's the one we are just dealing with the link as of now, right? Right, // that is www.go.co.in, and after this we will take the button like this. All right, so here thing guys, this is button is an HTML tag. You can see it is starting in the angular brackets, so that's why button is also called as like HTML tag. And going forward is one of the other videos I'll be doing with this reference, that is button tag in HTML as well. So stay tuned for that particular one. But as of now, understand that ahref can be utilized as the button. So here I'll say that is, you know, visit us. All right, visit us or visit example or visit on this particular, or you can say click on or click me, whatever you want to type in here. So I'll close my button. All right, I'll close my button and I'll close my a tag. All right, and also any downloadable file if you wanted to link. Okay, so again ahref equals to double quotes, and you can provide your file name. Again, file name with dot the extension that you are using in. Okay, so extension that you are using in, so it may be anything. It may be .pdf file, .dodx file, .excel file, presentation file, anything that you wanted to. All right, so you can say that is whatever the file name with the extension, you can just need to type in here as like download, and you can just need to provide it as like, you know, download as in download. Okay, so it's like, you know, download file, and close with your a tag. So that's how you link. And also the title guys, it is like ahref equals to double quotes. Okay, equals to double quotes, again https:// and you can provide any any link. Okay, so like, let's say that is Google Scholar this time. All right, Google Scholar. Okay, googlescholar.com. Okay, googlescholar.com, and we will say it here, that is the title, whatever the title that you wanted to provide it in here, that you can say that is visit example or open Google Scholar, or you can just say here the title is Google Scholar. All right, and we can just provide the title like this, and again here is like, okay, so link text, link the text and close it in A. So these are the 6 different ways that we can actually, that we can actually help, or that we can actually use it in our Ahref things, guys. Okay, so going forward, I'll show it to you how to manage these images and how to, actually calculate or actually, have those things done on the image and everything. Okay, so let's just go to and say this, how do we link the image as well. So come back to your VS Studio Code, and what do I do is I'll create one more file. All right, so simply select your project. This is your project, right? This is your project. Simply select this. I mean, click on that. Click on that. It should be open with an Explorer, right? So this is close Explorer. This is open Explorer, right? So now open this and click on a new. And here I'll say that is image.html. So I'll create one more file. All right. So here I'll take an exclamatory, hit an enter, and here again. So this is again, it is my first page. Still I'm in this first page. All right. So now what I'm going to deal with, that is HTML images. All right. So now in here, I'll start with the tag that is image source. You can directly start with the image source. Okay. As I said the previous, like, you can start it with like Ahref as well, and you can go inside with that is image src equals to as like this too. It is really not a problem. All right, it's really not a problem. All right, but however, sometimes the HTML, we are certainly using HTML5 now, so it is directly utilized as of now. What is that? It is image src. Okay, so image src is nothing but image source. So this will take as like mentioned, as I mentioned, that is image link. It will take in care, and we will provide that information to the to that particular image. I would like to see on the browser as well. So now in here, what will I do is I simply get into the browser. So let's do it this way. So what will I go to is like, I'll go with the dinosaur. Okay, so not a movie. So let me just go to the image. Okay, so one of the dinosaur, take it over. Okay, so one of the species which has already been extended in this entire world. But anyway, seems to be the monster animal in the entire history. All right, so let's take this dinosaur. Okay, dinosaur. All right, so right click on that, and I'll just simply like what? Copy image link. Okay, copy image link. So when you copy image link, so wherever this image link is present, so that's the source. All right, so I simply come back to my notepad and try to mention that. Okay, so it's like this is a link. Okay, so this is a link. All right, so this is the link, right? So this is the link, this one. So I'll copy this and I'll come back to here in the image links here. I'll simply click on this and paste and paste. All right, and here I'll write it as like dinosaur. Or say it is dino, fine, no problem. And I'll close. That's okay. So save it, come back to my browser. Come back to my browser. All right, come back to my browser and just try to see whether the browser is actually understood my page or not. So okay, so it is just reload. Okay, come back and reload. Okay, seems to be it is not understood. Seems to be not understood. However, dino is not understood. However, we'll just try to at least it should be not red. Okay, if it is not red, right? Okay, wait a second. I'm really sorry. Where are we? We are in the first .html. All right. But where we are writing in here, this is what is generally we make the issue sometime. And it is one of the very casual and repeated problem that every coder will experience, right? So what is that? We are certainly into the page of image.html and we are trying to reload the first.html. How is that possible, right? It is really not possible. So come back to the VS Studio Code. We are in the image.html and image.html has to be open with the live server, is that? So open the live server and there you are. Oh my God. So that's the okay, so hopefully this is the logic, not the magic. All right, so we got the dinosaur on the screen. All right, so you can see this is the total width that the dinosaur is. And now going forward, sir, I don't want this, sir. I don't want this much big, but I want this. The width should be taken care and width should be like not this much big. It should be small enough. So at the time, we will need to talk to my favorite CSS to talk about the width and the length and everything. I'll show it to you going forward. But as of now, this is how we will externally link. We will externally link an image from any of the links that we certainly use it. And also there is one more place, there is one more choice that you can save this image into your local machine, and from your local machine you can address this too. All right, so how that can be possible, I'll show it to you in going further. But as of now, we just went into the link of this. Okay, so we just went into link of this and then download it. And you can say this 2048 into 1365. That's the dimension. And JPEG is the extension of this page. Okay, it's looking the small here. Why it is looking the small here? Because on the mrt.com is a website. That's where the width and the length is taken care. So that's the reason it is coming down like this. Okay, so that's how it is, guys. Okay, so we will just simply use the link in the image src. Okay, so in the image src, sir, we will use alt and provided here this is a dino. Okay, so it is like dinosaur. All right, dinosaur, and save this. And you can see the moment when I take my mouse cursor on that, and it should say it is a dinosaur. Okay, dino is coming here. The dino is coming in the bottom side here. Okay, I'm sorry, I just click on that, I guess. Okay, so but it should be dinosaur somewhere here. So it's a very big one. So that's the reason we cannot, making it understanding that where it is. Okay, and this annotation is also making me a problem. Anyways, okay, so this is how we will use the alt over here. So alt is something which gives an information that what it is, what image it is. All right, what image it is. All right. So now, as I said, we can utilize our width and height. So what do I do is I simply take you to the header tag here. And as I mentioned in the classroom, that is, we'll go for a style tag here. And in the style tag, sir, I'll talk to the image because that is the header file. All right. Sorry, that is the HTML tag. All right. So whatever the HTML tag is there now. So that HTML tag, we need to talk to the styles. So for this, we'll go for a width. So for this width, all right, I would like to take it for a 70%. Okay, width is 70%, and at the same time, I'll use the height. Height is about 60%. All right, save it and come back to the browser and see. Boom. So it is just as that I look for. So that entire big dinosaur has become the smaller dinosaur now. So looking good. So now, if you want a still more down, sir, let me just decrease the height. Okay, so let me just decrease the height. Height is like 50% and the width is, say, it is 50%. So both are 50-50. The dimension should be start, and there you are. And this dino is the name of that. This dino is a name that I have taken in. So, but as of now, I'll just take this off. So you can ask me question again, sir, how many times I can take this image information? We can take a n number of time. We can take n number of a time, and that will be n number of time the dinosaur will be on your browser, like this, like this, like this. And now you might ask me question, sir. I don't want in just the down part. I want in here at the right hand side, right? So for the right hand side again, so this is a CSS involved. I'll be teaching you going forward on this. All right. So, but as of now, please understand the images can be taken at this like the way. All right. So n number of image. Sir, can I use my images also? You can use your own images also. Not a problem. You can utilize any thing that you are wanted. Okay, so going forward, as I given you here a few things, that is, okay, so mail to, okay, so mail to, all right, so just can simply come back here into VS Studio. I have just simply copied this and I'll come back to my VS Studio Code and hit an enter like this. Okay, save it and go back to the page in here at the bottom side and here send an email. So if you click on that, it will directly takes you to the again, it will takes you to again whatever wherever it is linked to. See, my Hotmail is getting open. This will send an email to it will send an email to my sachin.pratik97@gmail.com, that whatever it is written in there. All right. So this is how it is already inbuilt, and we just need to make use of that. Okay, so you can see the email address is directly came in here. All right, so that's how it is. It will be. So just the linking information that it can be taken care. Okay, it got now. Okay, so this is needed actually. That's okay. Not a problem. All right, so this how we will just can be provided, sir. Okay, so going forward, as I given in here, so these are all the right available links. Okay, you can simply use it in your VS Studio Code. So I'll simply copy this, and the buttons, guys. It is really important. The buttons. Okay, so the button is here. Okay, and also the file, downloadable file is also the same thing. So we just need to provide an extension for that. The file extension wherever it is pinned. Like generally we will provide the Google Drive extension into this. Okay, going forward, when we do the live project, I'll show all these things going, when we deal with any of the website creation going further. All right. So and also the link text. All right, the title text. We'll just directly come back here and use the VS Studio Code. So save everything and come back to the browser to check all these things. Okay, there you go. So this is what it is. The button is visit us. If I click on this button, it has been clicked and it is rotated and it is going to the Google Drive. It is going to the Google page. All right, so send an email, call now. You click on a call now, you can see this particular says wants to open application, and always, okay, so it is asking something to open a call. All right, so if I just click on that, right, so it might call or something like that. But as of now, I do not have an associated application to call on the particular phone number. If that application is installed in my laptop or your laptop, the call can go anytime and can have a ring on the particular person's phone anytime. All right, so that's how it is. And link a text, if you click on a link a text, it is okay, so it is something like asking for a Google Scholar or something like that. So you go to that ones and click on continue to Scholar. But anyways, the link that what I have taken, it might be something different, but Google Scholar is one of the place where we can see the IEEE PDF applications. All right, let's say IEEE based project informations that we can that we can search in there. So it is a Google Scholar that I might be some missing with the link. Might be link. Okay, yeah, there you are. So this is this Google Scholar, guys. All right, so scholar.google.com is the email address. I'm not an email address. I'm really sorry. It's a web address. All right, so it is asking me like how you wanted to utilize it. Okay, so that's why it didn't, it just if I wanted to, I'll say there is try now, or if I don't want, if it is like no thanks, this is certainly not my thing as of now into this learning session. So I'll just keep as it is. I'll just leave as it is, but I'll change this link. I'll just change this link to the accurate one, which I just copied. Okay, so this is what it is. So save this, and this is how it will work, sir. And one more thing, sir, I could see it here. That is, everything is going to the next to the dinosaur page, right? Where it is here. Where it is here. Come back to the page. Okay, so it is going to the here, but I don't want. I want at the bottom side where it is going to the left, because I do not break it. That's the reason. So what will I do is I'll use it as that is BR, and as I mentioned that BR should not be having closing call, but in general practice as a coder we'll use like this BR // Okay, so BR actually opens like this, and which doesn't have BR as the coding thing. All right. So BR actually doesn't have like closing thing like this. But generally, in a good practice, we will do like this. Is a only tag in HTML, we do not have a closing tag. All right. So, but however, we'll make the practices like this. The moment when we use like this, right? So this will certainly close the tag. This will certainly makes the BR. But however, this BR is certainly not here. The reason why is dinosaur images are coming one to the bottom, but this BR is certainly needed. Where? It's certainly needed here, the last, not in here, by the way, right? Because images already like bottom, 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 bottom. But I want this mail to should be bottom. All right. So I want a BR tag here, and I want a BR tag here, and I want a BR tag here. That's it. So save it, come back to the browser, and there you are. You can see like this. So this is a link. This is a text link. You can see the moment when it is just taken on this, right? So you are getting a Google Scholar information. Visit us, it is giving you the link. You can see this. Visit us, it is giving you the link at the bottom. And call now is also giving you the mobile number, and send an email. It is mail to, it is giving on the bottom side. So this is how the Ahref tag, which helps doing the navigation on the browser, guys. Hope you are enjoying the things and you guys are actually learning the things as well. All right. So going forward, okay. So we have, there is something called HTML tables. So HTML tables can be done. All right. HTML tables can be done with the help of, okay, with the help of its table row, table head, and table data. All right. So here, before I start with the HTML table, let's just give you the description. That is, HTML tables. HTML tables allows you to arrange data into rows. First thing first, into rows, and second is columns as well. All right. So whenever we say the table, right? So whenever we say the table, right? What do we say? We say the table, right? So it's like this is a table, sir, right? This is a table, sir. So within this table, sir, like we will be like we will be having, that is, the columns as well as rows, right? So wait a second, what am I taking? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So let's just take a line just like that. Okay, so this is the row. This is the first row, is it? Is the first row. All right, and like that, this is the second row, sir, right? And like that, this is the third row, sir, right? And like that is the fourth row as well, sir, right? This is a fourth row. This is a fourth row, and this is the fifth row, like that. And at the same time, this is the first column. This is the first column. There's a second column, and this is a third column, and this is a fourth column. So it is not limited, like how many columns should be taken and how many rows should be taken. It is a number of a time. It's a n number of rows and n numbers of column. That's up to you. Okay, so that's up to you. Okay, so these things. Okay, so these things. So the left to the right, all right, left to the rights are called as like rows, and top to the bottom, right? Top to the bottom are called columns. So that's the basic things that we will say. So these tables can be created. These tables can be created using HTML, and that's what it says. It allows to arrange the data in rows and columns as well as, all right. Okay, so now it's why do we use the table, right? So, okay, so it's like making it easy to display the information, right? Making it easy to display the information. Okay, it may be anything. Okay, so in any information, it might be like the product sale, or product bought, or product being delivered, or anything that can be provided, like any statistics, any structured data, or any schedules, or anything that for example, a player's information, like how many times he hit a century, how many times he hit a half century, how many times he went for a duck. All right, so those things and information, like for example, you can do your timetable as well, which particular day that I need to read which subject, or which particular time that I need to read that particular subject, or something like that. So HTML table actually makes easy to provide an information. That's what I said. And to be precise here, that is HTML table can be done, all right, can be done using, or it's what can be done or can be created. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Can be created using table tag. And as I mentioned, HTML is full of tags, right? Table tag. So I'll use the table tag. So if the table tag is getting open here and it has to close like this, right? Right. So now between this, sir, let me segregate like what table is talks about. Okay. So let me segregate what the table is talks about and it talks about. All right. So first thing first, sir, if I talk about this particular thing, okay. So this particular thing. So this is, these things are the table rows, right? So this is or something, these things are something called as like table rows. And also, these things, if I talk about, same things which I talk about, this is also called as like table heads. This is also called as table heads, right? So in this particular rows, this is a table head, and within this table head, I'm providing the values like, let's say that is 1, this is 2, this is 3, okay, this is 4, and this is 5. These are nothing but a data. This is nothing but a data. So that means within HTML, the particular table is going to work for three ways. One is the table row, that is TR. Okay. So small letter TR. Okay. So next is the table head. And at the same time, again, table data. So these four informations are certainly needed in order to, design, develop the table in the HTML. So it's like, okay, so it's like this. Okay, so first thing first, I need to talk to the table row first. Okay, within the table tag, so I need to talk to the table row first. All right. So once the table row is talked, within the table row, I need to talk about the table head. All right. And again here, I need to close the table row. So that's where we will make the differentiation. Again, I need to start the table row. In the table row, I need to provide the table data. That's how it is. And I need to close the table row. Okay, so this is where the total structure stands in order to create the table in HTML. So what I'm trying to say is here is in the table, sir. Okay, so in this particular table, all right. So just a second. So in this particular table, sir, in this particular table. So in the particular row, this is the table head. So within the table head, for example, let's say that is like first name. It is like first name. Let's say it is first name. So this first name will be given here as like, let's say it is ABC. This is your first name. And also in the same row, sir, in the same row. All right. Again, it is, DEF. It may be something like that. And again, in the same row, sir. Again, so it is maybe like, HIJ, like that. So whatever the information that we'll store in here, that is nothing but TD. And whatever the header things that you'll take in here, that is your TH. So TH should be something different in the table row and TD will be something different in the table row. All right. So both are focusing on the same place. Both are focusing on the same place. All right. So don't be panic over here or don't be confused over here. So that what is going where. All right. So no, it is something. It is going to the same place where it's supposed to go. So it is going to the place where the table row is concerned for. All right. All right. So if I show the example, you'll understand. Okay. I think it's a very straight point in here. Okay. So in the table row, we have a header, we have a headings, we have a heading, and in that particular heading, we need to store that data. And we have a heading over here. So I'll say that this is as like, first name, and this has to be closed with a TH. And the first name, let's just provide it as like section. All right. And that has to be closed with a TD like this. And also one more heading in here, So in the TH, sir, I'll say that is last name. That is your last name. So this last name is like, okay, so it is a TH again. Okay. And this last name should be provided with this TD. Okay. So we can provide it as like NL. So that's the last name, sir, like this. So once you will denote the table head and once the place, we will provide the data to that. All right. So going forward, let's go and create the table for this. So what do I do is I'll create one more file, sir. I'll click on my project, open the project, click on a new file, and I'll say it is like, tables.html. So hit and enter. So again, I'll say that is exclamatory, hit and enter. So here again, so it is again a first page. Again a first page. But first page, this time let's just, it is like, HTML. I'll say that is HTML tables. Okay, HTML tables. Okay, very first thing is like, I'll take the comments here. So this will be helping me that what am I doing in here? All right, I'm doing here that is HTML tables also, right? So that's thing. All right, and I'll start with the table directly. I'll start with the table, or you can just say that is H1 here, sir. In the H1 here, sir, I'll say that is HTML tables. Okay, so tables. And for this, I'll take a paragraph and whatever that I have taken in here in my HTML. Okay, so in my notepad, I'll simply copy this. Copy this paragraph and I'll paste it here. There you are. There you are. And let me take you to the next place. To the paragraph going to be closed like this. And after this, I'll create a table like this. And I'll start with the table row and I'll go to the table head and I'll say it here that is first name. Say it is first name. And for this, I'll take a tr again and I'll say that is td and that is Sachin. Save it and right click, get into open live server. And once again, I would like to mention this, guys, we are into table.html and this file is not at open in the server. So we need to open it on the live server. Click on open live server and there you are. So first name and a Sachin. And a first name and a Sachin. So like that. So if I wanted to add some more information here, okay, Sachin is the first information is passed to the table and I would like to send some more information here. So I'll say, you can say that is just we need to increase the TD value. Just we need to increase the TD value. All right, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Okay, so come back here. Okay, come back here. So this is how the values is going to be. This is how the value is going to be. Sir, here, why it is coming to the left and right? Because we are into table row. We are into table row. So it will be like this itself. It will be like this itself. All right, but however, I don't want this way. I want the table head after this, after this section, the next section should come in at the bottom here. At the time, you don't need to provide all this thing information here, but what you need to do is you need to create one more table row. And for this pass a value here. Okay, so I'll show it here. Okay, so save it here. Okay, there you are. It will come like this. And I want one more information at the bottom. Once again, you just need to take a table row and pass the value to this, and you just need to provide like this. It will come at the bottom. So every time we will be dealing with the table row. You might can ask me question here, sir. So if in this case, all right, if in this case, so we are dealing with the table row, and it is simply increasing my the coding, so instead of going for a tr table row, so if can I consider the table head? No. So using the table head, and can I say that is td and provide the information? It's like reverse order. What I'm trying to say is that instead of tr, I'll use a th. Within the th, I'll take a td. Okay, within the th, I'll take a td. Let's hit a try. So how is it going to work? Okay, so instead of going I'll say the th here and I'll say the td here and I'll say the Sachin here. Just try it, change. It will like this. It will go like this. Why it will go like this? It is considered the th is here. Okay, the second th. So it is really not possible and it is really not a good way to do it. Okay, so if I do it once again and if I do it once again as like I'm doing a tr, so it will go like this only. The t head, like that. So this is not a best practice doing the th. All right, it's the best practice that we do it with the tr only. So we have only that option to doing it, the good practice of coding. So we just need to do the tr itself. All right, td might give you the values, but it is not considered to be the good practice in the world. So that's a reason. So do not use the th. It is certainly not needed. But however, if you wanted to add the values, please add the tr all the time. So you will say that is td. Once again, we will pass the values like Sachin here. So it is not about only the Sachin, sir. You can provide any name that you wanted to. Okay, so we will say it here. So let's say it is Rohit, and let me say it here that is Virendra. Okay, and we will say it is like Yuraj. Okay, so now what do I do, sir? I'll create that is th here, that is last name. Okay, and here in this td, I'll pass the value that is say it is Tendulkar. Okay, and here I'll say it is like td, that is Sharma. Okay, so here I'll say TD, that is TD, and that is Sehwag. Okay, and here I'll say it's TD, that is Singh. Like that. Say everything and everything. It has like, first time is this, last time is this. First time is this, last time is this. And going forward, what do I do is I'll create one more TH here, that is TH, and say it is like, profession. Okay, profession. What profession it is, sir? Okay, so this guy belongs to the cricket. Okay, and everybody belongs to the cricket here. So that's the reason. What do I do is I simply copy this and I'll place it here. Okay, and I'll place it here. Okay, and I'll place it here too. Save it, and there you are. And there you are. So this is how we will create an information to the particular table, sir. All right, to the particular table here. To the particular table here. So to be precise, and to be explained. Okay, so to be explained, here is. Okay, so here is the tag table. All right, so this table is like defines the structure, defines the structure for organizing data, in rows, and columns, within a web page. First thing first, right? Okay, columns within the page, first thing. And the second one, what we have is TR. Okay, so what is TR, sir? TR is actually represents a row. Simple as that. Okay, so row within HTML table. That is what we say. And next, what we have is TH. Okay, so TH is that shows the table head. Right? And now we have a TD, and TD that represents the standard data. All right, represents the standard data, the standard HTML table data. So that's how it is. Okay, so going forward, not only these things, sir. Okay, not only these things, we can actually make some more, informative information to the table. So what are the things? So we will use, there is something called caption. First thing, okay. Some more, the advancedness to the table. I hope you have understood all these tables at this moment of a time. I hope you got to know how to create the table. So, and you can say this structure remains same. All right, so there is no any change in order to creating the table. All right, so going forward, a little advanced or little good coding styles to the table. All right, so we'll use a caption, we'll use the table head direct, and we will use the table body as a table body. All right, and we will use that is table foot, that is table foot as a table foot, and we will use, there is something called column, and there is something called, we will use a column group. Okay, so these are all the tags that the HTML table has it. So what this caption doesn't, okay, so what this caption doesn't, so the caption is like, provides a title. First thing first, title, or you can say it is a description that what the table is all about. And next is the the table head is like, which certainly defines the header section. It's defines the header section of a table. All right. So now the body is again, so defines the section of a table. That is the, the main content area. What we say, it is like, represents, all right, represents the main content. Okay, main content area of a table. All right, and now the table foots are tables foots that specify the footer section. It's the name itself saying that, right? Specify the footer section. All right, and the COL is nothing but a columns. I'll show you everything, not to worry about. All right, and here is the group. Okay, so it is a set of columns. All right, so that's how it is. It's a set of columns. All right, so it defines all these informations, and we will see one after the next. Now going forward. Okay, going forward. Okay, and now in here, sir. What the thing is, we just need to talk. We just need to talk about the table here. Okay, so if I take it to the browser here, so it is coming as like plain. But Sachin, you had shown me there's a table like this, right? You had table like this, but the table is not visible here. So that's the thing. That's what I have mentioned. That what I've mentioned is HTML is a structure. You know, the HTML is structure like this. Okay, so what is HTML is? HTML is just a structure, sir. You know, it just be having some structure. All right. So whatever the designing that we need, right? Whatever the designing that we need, right? We just need to make use of that. All right. It is just the structure. All right. It's like this. Okay. So to be precise is like, okay, so seems to be, we just need to make a person like this. Okay. I'm sorry. Right. Like this. I'm not sure. Like, what am I? Okay, I'm not sure what I mean, what am I drawing here? Anyways. Okay, let me draw it properly for you. All right. So what I said is HTML is just the structure, right? HTML just a structure. So let it be like this. The person like this, like this. Okay, so like this and like this. Okay, so like this and the like this. Okay, so this is the structure. This is just an HTML. But when we actually do some, changes to this. Okay, so when we actually do the changes to this, so this is, all right. Okay, so this is the CSS. Okay, so this is the CSS. Something in the design, let's say this. Okay, so this is nothing but your CSS. Okay, so this is your CSS. But when it was, HTML is like a skeleton, all right, and CSS is all muscles, nerves, okay, everything, the skin, the fairy skin, something like that. So CSS is nothing but makeup, all right? CSS is something like a makeup. So all these things are certainly made with a CSS, but as of now, but as of now, but as of now, it is said to be, all right, it is said to be just a structure, right? It is just the structure here, whatever we have, whatever it is something like this. It is the structure, sir. All right. So, but giving the, some makeup to that, that is CSS. But as of now, sir, I need a box like this, right? I need a box like this, right? First name, last name like this, but it is not coming in that way. But we need to provide and we need to make that one particular. So let's just go back and check that out. So what do I do, sir? And as I mentioned, okay, so we can do the styling, right? We can do the styling, that is using the style tag. Okay, so how do we do the style tag, sir? We can do the stylings in a two different or three different way: inline styling, external line styling, all right, in a header section as well. So let's just go that. So this is the this is a head section. Okay, so starting with the head and it's closing with the head. This is a head section, and this is where we can use the HTML style tag. So we can use that is style like this, and this is a style tag. And here what we need to do is we need to take the HTML tag information and the block. All right, so now in here, so what I want this table to having a different way of, information on this, right? So for this, what is the main HTML tag? That is table. So what will I do is I'll simply come back here and I'll say it is like table. All right, so within the table, sir, again, do we have a HTML tags? Okay, yes, we have a HTML tag, that is tr, we have th, we have td. All right, so now in here, now in here, all right, so what do I do is I'll take the table first and say a comma. So if you have a multiple, table tags, or sorry, not table tags, sorry, if you have a multiple HTML tags, you can just place a comma and you can utilize them. So I'll say that is th, and I utilize here that is th and td. All right, so all the four has been utilized, and very first is that, okay, I want to be the border created, right? I want it to be the border created. So border is when what? It is like a draw a line, okay, draw a line, a visible line. So for that, so CSS property itself has a border. Okay, so in this border, we'll say that is border with the, this border should be like, for example, you can see this. Okay, so I'm utilizing the pen here and I'm drawing a line, right? I'm drawing a line like this. I'm drawing a line like this. Okay, so I'm drawing a line like this. All right. So the color that what you can see, the black color, right? And there's a line. It has some it has some pixel. It has some values like from starting from in here and starting from in here. So between these things, there is the place between something here. There's a place that's called as like the place it is occupied. The place it is occupied, and in order to address that particular place is like we have a three different ways. One is we will write it as like we will write it as like we will write it as like in terms of px. Okay, we will write it in terms of px, or we will denote with the in terms of percentile, or we will insert in terms of rem. All right, so all these things are the dimension of the utilization. See, for example, okay, so it might be not giving you a proper sense, but what I'm trying to tell you is that here, see, for example, okay, for example, let me close this. So I'll use the brush here. So for example, and I'll use the brush, and using the brush, I write like this. All right. So this is the line. All right. So if I just zoom in, if I just zoom in here, and I can see it here. So from this entire place, this entire place, this entire place, right? See, for example, this is the box. All right. So this is the box. All right. So now in here, okay. So let's use it as like, okay, the black itself, not a problem. So now in here, I use the coloring is like white. Okay. So use it as like white. Where can I change the color? Okay, so now, anyways, I'm not finding it but what I'm trying to say is this particular. So it is starting from in here, right, and it is ending from in here. So this black color one, this black color one, this black color one. Okay, so from in here to here. Okay, so from here to here. Okay, so from inside this inside, it's like a border, right? It's like a border. So the place it had taken, it is either to be said in terms of px, or either it should be said in terms of percentage, or either it should be in terms of rem. That's how we will address them. That's how we will address them. All right. So here when I try to say the border is this, border is that there's a size of the border is this particular line, the color is going to be in terms of pixel. I'll say that is 1 px, 1 px between 2 points, and it should be solid. Solid means visible. And what color it is, I'll use it as like a black, so that should be visible. So where this solid black has to happen, the solid black has to happen where? It has to happen for a table. It has to happen for a table. It has to happen for a table head, and it has to happen for a table data. All right. So as of now, I'll not use it for TH and TD. Just I would like to apply it for a table right now. So if I come back to the browser here, there you are. There's a box now. So what I want now, I want a box for this table head. This table head. I want a box. I want a border. So what I'm trying to say is that here where is the border is going to happen. So what border it is there? Is like the border is like this. So for this first name, this is the border. For the last name again, so this is the border. Okay. And for this profession, so this is also border. Like this. So in order to do that, we just need to provide the same information to the CSS. If I say that is TH and TD here, automatically the border will happen to them. So there you are. There you are. Okay, but it is certainly looking like a box. So I don't want a box. So in order to avoid that box, we will use one more, that is something called border collapse, right? So when I say the border collapse, the upper and the bottom line will collapse. Okay, when I say the collapse, so it will be collapsed. So the complete border will be collapsed. Only the lines width should be. So what it's going to happen is like whatever the border is there, whatever the entire border is there, no, so that will be collapsed. Okay, inside the border. Okay, so it was earlier, it was like this, right? What is that? Earlier what? Earlier it was like this, right? Like this, right? So this border is collapsed. So if this border is collapsed, the remaining line will just remain there. Remaining line is just remain there. So that's how I'm trying to tell my web or my code. It should run like that. So that's how we will use it. That's how we will use it. And if it is not the black color, you can change the color, that whatever the color you want to do. And VS Studio will give you the awesome support for any of the color that you're looking for. any of the color that you are looking for. So into this table also, sir, we have a different style out. We have a different style out, and we can actually make utilize of this table with the awesome CSS practices. Okay, so I can what? Okay, so I don't want only the box here. So I want entire here. I want entire to be here. So from this point to from this point. All right, from this point to, all right, so from this point to this point, what? Okay, so from this point to, so entire width, I want entire width. So in that case, okay, so in that case, what do we do? So in that case, okay, so we'll just simply say to my style property, and I'll say it is like, width, and I'll utilize it for 100%. So you can see that this is what the difference, what I'm talking about. If you say the pixel, it is small part. When you say the percentage, it is a big one. You can say this, you can say this. Okay, so come back to the browser. Okay, come back to the browser here. So there you are. Come back to the browser. There you are. So this is how it is. This is how it is. And you can see that is in a first name. So this is by default taken values. By default taken values. All right. By default taken the values for a width of the entire page. Okay. By default taken a value for a entire page. All right. So we can just make the little change for that. We can make some little change for that as according to the style that you are certainly needed. Okay. Certainly needed. All right, so going forward, I'll show all these things to you. I'll show all these things to you. All right, so okay. So as I said, like, border collapse is something which collapse the border. Okay, so it is collapsed into one border actually. It is not a multiple border what we have seen. It is to be a single border, it will be done. And going forward, there is something called uh, padding. Okay, there is something called padding. I'll come back to the width later. Okay, there is something called padding, sir. Okay, so what is a padding? Like, the space inside, that is your padding, and the space outside, that is called margin. So now what will I say? That is, THTD, and use it here. I'll say that is padding. So padding is also one of the CSS property, and for this, I'll use that is PX in a small part. We'll come back here. So this is how it is. So that means inside whatever the space that you need, that is your padding, and outside whatever the space that you need, that is your margin. So come back to this. Okay, so I would like to tell you something about the padding as well. All right, so hope you got it. So hope you what we had talked about the style property. Style property is a CSS property, right? CSS property. All right, so out of which we are talking about, there is something called padding, sir. Okay, so in the CSS property, we had seen what we had seen what that is border, and we had seen that is, okay, not a capital letter, I'm sorry, it is a small letter, and it is like, border hyphen collapse. That's what we have seen. And going forward, we're going to see that is padding. All right. So what is padding is, okay, so cell, we will generally we call it as like cell padding. Okay, so that specifies the space between, the specifies space between the cell content, the cell content and its border, and its border. It's a space between the cell content and its border. Okay, so for example, if we do specify, right, if we do specify the same thing, if you do a specify, right, the padding, right, so the table cell, what is it going to do is like, table cells will be displayed, will be displayed, will be displayed, okay, they'll be displayed without padding. But anyways, okay, so it's something not that, okay, so don't worry about this, you might not get a good sense, but understand this much: cell padding specifies the space between the cell content and its border, and its border. All right, and going forward, we have there is something called alignment as well. We have there is something called alignment, and whatever the value that we taken inside the table is a text, right? First name is a text, last name is a text, profession is a text, and Sachin is a text, Tendulkar is a text, and cricket is also text, right? So we'll use that. There is something called text hyphen align. Align is nothing but it is a place like what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, right? So by default, the table headings are going towards like, by default, table headings are, okay, so you can see this is, okay, so table headings, I'm talking about the table headings, okay. So by default, the headings of the table, all right, so it is like, by default, the table headings, I'm talking about the table headings by default are, these are bold and centered. right? These are bold and center. And if you wanted to make something the change, okay, so I want this table head, it should be starting from this exact left or exact right, exact left or exact right. So at the time we can use the CSS property, that is text align. By default, the table heads are centered, but I wanted to change to left, we can use the text align. We wanted to do it to the right, we can use the text align. So centered here. Okay, so to left to be aligned, all right, to left aligned, okay, all right, to left aligned needed, all right, or to right aligned needed, all right, whatever that you just needed. Okay, so we will make use of the CSS property that is text align. CSS property that is text align. So text align can be utilized for that, all right. So you can just see it here. So come back to your VS Studio Code, and within the VS Studio Code, all right, so in the th, sir, okay, so in the table head, just the table head, not the table, data, all right, I'll say it here, that is as like, text align, and I'll say that is left, and I'll say the left, and come back to the browser, and there you are. Okay, come back to the browser, and there you are. So it is like, text align left, and that should take you to that should take you to the left. Okay, so it would be a little towards left. It is not seeming that so, but it should be. So let me just, auto saved and everything. So it should be towards left. All right, and meantime, you can have the spacing and everything. So, or, for your better understanding, just keep it for a right. If you wanted to keep it for the right, okay, so is that anything the missing? So just reload table. Okay, table. Okay, maybe it is not taking though, but it should take it. But to be understand as of now here, so please understand the text aligned to be left, text aligned to be right. Okay, so I'll show you this in a little going later, and not to worry about it, because we will use this, the text align, left and right. We will use a multiple things, going forward. All right. So specifically need not to worry about that particularly. All right. And also, and going forward, we will also use, there is something, the other property concerned to the table itself, we will have, there is something called border hyphen spacing. Okay, I'm trying to provide you here the entire CSS properties, which we can have a good practice over the table. All right. So we have a table spacing, and I'll provide it as like, 5px. Okay, we'll plot it on 5px. So this was the, by default, these are all the spaces where it will just try to make into that particular one, guys. But anyways, these are all enough. These are all particularly enough. And now going forward, let me just show you to you the very important thing, that is the column spans and everything. Okay, so hopefully this is actually made you a little sense that what need to be, practice can be done over the table. All right, so now going forward, let me just go back and create one more table here. Okay, I'll create one more table here. And this is something, okay, I'll create something for an employee right now. So what I'll do is, let's create a table, and into this, and I'll apply, and as I show you the width, right? Width I have just taken off from in here. So I would like to provide, we just need to provide the width here itself. And as I mentioned, style tag can be used externally as well as internally. Sorry, not internally, it is inline. So if you take in a style tag here directly, right, alongside with the table, sorry, I know not ending, it is starting. Okay, so if you are using the style tag right over here, so this is like inline table. It's like inline styling. But if you use this is into the header section, right, it is a header section, this styling is called to be or it's one of the style of external styling itself. All right, but you are doing along with the HTML tag, right? HTML tag, right? HTML tag, right? It's going to be the HTML tag itself. Okay, so hope you're understanding everything here, guys. What the fuck? Okay, yeah. So okay, so here we will use the width. All right, we will use the width. Right, so width is going to be, so if you wanted to use for 100%, use it for 100%. Okay, so if I take it for 100%, right, if you go for 100%, it's going to provide you the entire one. So you can see this. Okay, I'll start with the TR, and I'll go with the TH, and this is something for, this table is something for, okay, this table is something for the employee information, right? So I'll say it here, that is employee ID. I'll say that is EMP ID. All right, so employee ID, and not only just an employee ID, sir. All right, so it is also with the employee, say that is, first name, employee first name, or we just say that is F name. Okay, so F name, employee F name. All right, and we'll say that is as like, employee L name. All right, and also we'll say that is a city, and we say that is the state, and we can also have, okay, so not in here, employee first name, last name, and here I'll just add it as like, okay, so employee designation. All right, so desig, so that is directly say it is designation. So it is not a good word saying like employee designation. No, designation is a direct thing. So just say that is pin here. All right, so all the th is done. All right, all the th is done, and once again I'll take a tr, and within the tr we'll pass the values, that is td, and the employee id, let's say that is 998456. All right, and employee first name is, say it is Sachin again. All right, and td is said is Anil, and td it is like, okay, so you can say that is a tech lead, you can say T capital. Okay, so whenever you're providing an information, it should be capital. That's the thing. All right, and tech lead and city A said is Hyderabad. All right, you can take a Bangalore, you can take Bidar also, not a problem. Okay, so it is, okay, Hyderabad is not in Karnataka. I'm so sorry, it is in Telangana. All right, Telangana. All right, and going forward, we will use that is TD again. So pin, I certainly don't know. Anyways, just anything like, say 58401. That is something, my locality, 58401. What is this? What is this? Okay, so here it is. My nums lock is actually locked, so that's the reason. So save it, and now what do I do is right click, and I think tables.html is already running. So let me just get into the browser here. Okay, there you are. Okay, there you are. Okay, there you are. Okay, so I can see from here to here, so enter 100%. And I can see what happened. I had given the text aligned to left. So since it was very the shorthand table, so that's why it wasn't seen properly. But you can see it is at the right now, because the reason why is I had given the text aligned to right. Okay, I had given the text aligned to right, so that's how it will be. So if you say it is at the left now, so it would be at the left. That's it. That's really not a big deal. All right, so that's the left. All right, so it's by default it is the left. So I just made it to the right. I just made it to the right. That's okay. I am the coder. I can do anything that I wanted to. So now the employee ID and the Sachin and Anil and everything, every information, and the border is completely there. Border is completely there. So this is how we will actually create the table, and you can see the style tag can be utilized under the width. But if you use that width inside this in here, so that width is going to be responsible for TH as well as TD. It is TH as well as TD2. So that's the thing. So we just to be very, very conscious, very conscious in order to deal the things. All right. And one more thing, if you wanted to give some more information that what it is going to be, okay, so this table is created for the cricketer, right? So for this table, right, so before I started for the table, so I'll take the header like this. Okay, so before the header like this, like say that is H2. And one more thing, H2 headings is the most used by the coder in entire world for any HTML coders. All right, so I'll say it here as that. Okay, so the table consists the list of cricketers, or you can say that is Indian cricketers. Just like an example, and the table that I have created at the bottom here. Okay, so this table, so you can have an H2 again here, and you can say that is employee table. You can say that is employee table. Save it, come back to and see the browser. So you can say that, oh, employee table is coming here, but this employee table should be here at the bottom. So I think it is somewhere that I supposed to type in here. Not in here actually. So I think I made some change. So it should not be here. No, no, no. Okay, so under the tables. Okay, so it's like, okay, so let's just provide here inside the table, guys. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, so here I'll give it as like, H2, and this is my employee table. So it will come. Okay, so it might be something, the alignment here and there. Okay, it would be alignment here and there. So there you are. So it's like an employee table. So this is an employee table. This is the table of the cricketer or Indian cricketers, consists of a list of Indian cricketers, and this is the employee table like that. So that's how we will actually make it out. Okay, and you can take the text colors also. Okay, for the TD. Okay, so let's provide the TD here, and we will use that is text hyphen. And do we have anything here as a color? Okay, so it is not a text as in text hyphen color. It is simply just the color as in color. So we can provide something the color here. So you can use any other color, right? So blue, no, brown would be fine, I guess. Okay, save this. Okay, save this and come back to the browser and see the changes. There you are. So there you are. All the values are getting changed. Why these values is also getting changed? The reason why is I have already utilized the style tag for here. That is, TD is already here. So TD is already here. So this is okay. So you might be asking like, TD, you are applying for the second table, but the color is going for a first table also. No, no, no. This this TD property and this TD property both are same. So that's the reason the values are getting changed in there. So let's just keep it as like complete red. All right. So the values are going to be the red in the box. That's like this, just like this. Okay, just like this. Okay, so now in here, what can I do is like I want a full name here. So like employee first name, employee last name. I don't want to have it like a separate name. So I want is like employee full name. So these two rows should be added. The next thing that I wanted in the table is like okay, so these two things are to be collaborated, one thing together. So in that case, what it should be done? Okay, what it should be done? Okay, by then we can use the thing that I have already given in this here. That is something called column. So not only call group, we have a row group as well. Okay, so we have a row group as well. That is called that certainly called as like row span. Okay, so we have there is something called as like. Okay, there is something we call it as like the two things. You can just say it here. So what I do is I'll collaborate this first name, sorry, this employee first name, employee last name as like. Okay, so not as two information, but I'll use it as like one information. So that is TH and it is employee. So it is like employee full name, right? Employee full name. But I have provided the value like this, right? I have provided the value like this, right? So for it here, okay, so for it here, employee full name, let it be as like first name and a last name as well. All right, so let it be as like okay, so what happened? Okay, Adam. Okay, so okay, what happened? Okay, so first name, last name. All right, so what do I do is for this th, what do I do is either you can use as like row span as like 2. It will be row span 2. All right, so if I come back to the browser, you can see, okay, so for this first name, it become two values, that is employee name and Sachin. Okay, employee name and Sachin. This is a row span. So if I do the same thing for a column span, you can see the change. Okay, so row span is 2, and at the same time we can say that it's column span 2. So if I say the column span 2 like this, so the employee first name is going to be Sachin and like this, like that. So what do I do is now, so I'll say it is like employee full name, all right, and save this up and come back here. Employee full name is this much, and this is what is a designation, right? So what do I do is I don't want to take this out, just take it off, save it and come back, and that is, so employee full name is this thing, and designation is tech lead. So if you wanted to differentiate, all right, two columns in a same row, you can use column space. And if you want to differentiate two rows in a same row, you can use row span. Okay, hope you have understood. Either you can use here, that is row span row span, if you use a row span, it become a row span. You can see the row span like this: full name, full name. This full name, the row span is designation, and Sachin is going to be the two references for the employee full name. But when it is come to the column span, right in here, now the full name has Sachin and an Anil. This is the column space like that. So this is how the different changes that we see in the table, guys. Hope you guys are understanding, and hope you guys are clearly making the complete information on this. And going forward, let me just show you to you. And one more thing, guys, taking this H2 is not a right practice. Okay, taking this H2 is not a right practice. So instead of taking the H2, guys, I'll take a caption. And as I said in the beginning, so caption is going to describe that what table it is, right? So in the caption, I'll say that is employee details or employee table, or employee table, and that is also same. So you can see, if I see H2, by default it will come at the left, but when I see the caption, it's currently in the center box. So that means caption itself has its own way of dealing with the style, and H2 would have its own way of dealing with its style. That's how it is. And with this caption, so we can actually provide our CSS as two. So since caption is HTML tag, okay, we will use a caption like this and open frame like this, and we can use the information for this. Okay, so we can provide the color to this, and you can provide the black color is by default, right? We can provide something the light color, anything the light color. Okay, so light green. All right, save it and come back to the browser. There you are. It is light green. All right, so light green is not that so visible, so but let's just make it as like black or completely, or this one. Okay, so let make this like black, okay, not a light green, so let's just make it as like gray. All right, and one more thing, guys, it's coming as like RGB, right? Okay, so we'll talk about this RGB as well. Okay, so it is not only just RGB, there is something called RGBA as well. All right, so we'll talk about this when we talk about when we do the CSS classes. All right, so we will deal with that. Okay, so this is again the coloring concept for like this. Okay, RGB is like red, green, blue. Okay, and A is a transparent, that how it going to visible on the browser or something like that. So not to worry, we will take care of all those things. But as of now, just understand how the CSS is actually helping the HTML and how it is working on the browser. And coming back to this here, so caption got the information like this, and you wanted to change, or you wanted to increase the change. I mean, increase the size. You can use a font size. Okay, you can use a font size. A font size, you can use it up to like let's say it is like 30% or 30px. Okay, and also you can provide that is font style as well, font style as like italic. Okay, fine. And at the same time, font family, right? Font family. All right, so all these things we had seen it in Microsoft Words, that what we had Microsoft Word, I mean the one of the office application. Okay, so if you have did a computer uh, courses meantime, okay, so you'll understand what is that. But to be precise here, what I'm saying is that the font family, font style, font size, all these things are one of the very basic operations that we do in computer classes recently. All right, so that's how it is. So we will use all these properties, and we have a multiple properties from the CSS as well. We will get to see one of the next when I do the classes for CSS as well. All right, and this is how we will deal with the tables, and we can also create the table within the table. That means nested table. All right, table within the table, that means nested table. So how do we do that? So within this, okay, so this is where the second table is created, right? Okay, so let me create one more table here. All right, so okay, so anyway, this is a table is created, right? Okay, so it's a table created, right? So I'll give you the structure. Okay, so you can try on your own. So this is the table, and this table is created. I'll take a tr and I'll take a th. Chalo. So this is where that I'll create, as I'll say this is my first or you can say this is my outer table. Let's say this is like, okay, so outer table, that is the information. All right, but however, here when you're dealing with the nested one, so you do not need to deal with the h1, I mean, sorry, th right now. So you have to provide in the row itself, in the td, I mean, in the table row itself, we need to provide the value that is td. So where there it will make sense like it is outer table. Okay, and after that we will take one more table data. Within the table data we'll create a table. This is how we need to create. Okay, so here, and I'll take the tr again, and I'll take the td again. So this is the difference. When it is okay, so this is in a table. So when we are generally creating the table, we will use the table head. But when we deal with the nested table, we will talk to table data, that is td, as a tag. We will not use a th as a tag. So that one we need to see into. So if I save this out and come back to the browser and just check if there is any changes has happened. So if I just come back, and this is what it is. This is the outer table and this is the inner table. Okay, so the border had been happened. Okay, so the border has been happened. Border has been happened because I have taken that same. All right, and let me just give it to info. Let me just give an information here. That is, take a caption here again. Okay, caption here. I'll say that is nested table. All right, so save it. Come back here. This is a nested table. So nested table, that is table inside the table. All right, so inside the nested table, we need to deal with the td instead of th. But the general table, it will be th itself. Okay, so as I mentioned, there are a few things in that. Okay, so we will see the table foot, table body, table head going forward. But this is all about the HTML table, guys. Okay, so hope this is completely clear with it. Okay, completely clear with it. And this actually, gives you somewhat information about the HTML. Okay, so going forward, the next topic that we see in the HTML is HTML lists. All right, HTML lists. So in the HTML lists, the very first is like we have an ordered list, and we have unordered list. Okay, lists, ordered list, and one have a order list, and the name itself specifies order means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it would be like order one after the next. But when it is come to unordered list, okay, so we will use, or we will utilize with the bullets, right? We will utilize with the bullet. That's so simple. All right, so we will see all these things going forward. Okay, going forward we'll see, and for this I'll have you in the next class. So until here, thank you very much for connecting with me, and have a good time around. Take care. Bye-bye.